in the VR device page of the Oculus Rift home page software, does it say that your headset has poor tracking quality and no matter what you do, you can't fix it? Well, that's what my problem was, and today I'm going to teach you how to fix that. So I'm going to tell you how my problem came to be. So I was installing a 3.0 USB card in my computer, so I would have 3.0 USBs. But once I installed it, it was super simple to install, but once I installed it, my computer, it felt laggy. Like, all the audio would pop when I was watching movies. And my VR headset, I mean, it would work, but it would pop. And it would, like, freeze every 5-6 seconds. Not only freeze for a second or so, I mean, for a few milliseconds, but that was super annoying. So it took me 3 weeks to figure out how to solve it. So I'm going to teach you how to solve it. So my problem was with storage controller drivers, specifically with the storport.sys driver. So I'm going to show you how I fix that. But also other people who have a similar problem, their problems are to do with power settings, especially in the CPU management department, firewall settings, and USB adaptability settings. So I'm going to teach you how to resolve those as well. So the first thing that I had to do to figure out what my problem was I had to download the PC Latency Checker. Now this, I don't really know what latency is. I know it just means not running smoothly. So normally, if you have a good computer, all these little bars would be under the green setting. And mine normally would be too, but I'm actually running a few heavy softwares right now, so it's not great. But before, when I had my problems, all these bars were all the way maxed out and they were red. I'd have like one red maxed out bar and then like 3 green ones, another red one, and then 3 greens and a red one. So I knew my problem was latency. You can download this latency checker on the internet. There is a link in the description below. It's completely free. But it doesn't really tell you anything. All it tells you is that you have a latency problem. So then I found this software. It's called Latency Mon. Now there's a whole bunch of things here, but the thing that's important and the thing I want to show you is this right here. This software actually tells you what driver is having problems. So right now it's saying the driver that's using up the most capacity is my NVLDDNKN, but it's only here, which is not bad, whereas before it was all the way full and it was red. And instead of this driver, it was the storeport driver. So I knew my problem with this was with the storeport driver, but that is a subdriver that helps many different devices on my computer. It's a subdriver in legitimately the Windows code. But with research, I figured out that the storeport.sys driver is connected to the storage controller drivers that I can find on my device manager. I opened up Device Manager, and I found out that the problem was with the Intel chipset SATA RAID controller. So first off, I tried updating it, and I clicked on the search, updates automatically, and it didn't work. So then what I did is I went online, and I found an older copy of it, and I downloaded the older copy, and then I came here to update drivers, and I clicked browse my computer, and I loaded the older driver. I don't know if it was older, it was just different. It was a different version. But it's an older driver, basically. And then I said what driver I wanted to use, and then I click next, and I install that driver. Now, this driver is different for every computer, so I can't tell you which one to do. But I do know if you have the storeport.sys driver problem, that you come to the Intel chipset SATA RAID controller and try a different driver. Add a different driver, add an old driver, try updating this driver. Just this right here is how you fix the problem. You have to somehow change this. And once you do that, your VR headset will work again, and that's how mine worked again. But there are a few other things that people have done that worked. They didn't work for me, but I want to teach you how they worked for them. So I was told to come to power options, come to high performance, change plans, change advanced power settings. And then I was told to first come here to USB settings and disable this. You need to make sure this is disabled. When it's enabled, it means your USBs will turn off when they're not in use. But your computer's probably not very good at turning them on and off. But if it's disabled, they're always on. They'll use more power, but they'll always be on. You'll never have problems. I think for anyone who likes VR or uses VR, you should definitely disable this. And then I'll install the come here to processor power management. This manages the power given to your CPU. Click on the minimum processor state. And normally this says 5%. I changed it to 95. Pretty much this means your computer can actually run your computer at 5% efficiency. But by changing this, it can now, at minimum, run 95%. You can probably change this to 100 and it'll probably work even better, but I didn't want to. So that's how you can fix the problem with power settings. Now, if this doesn't work, you can actually go into the Reg Edit, which is like the deeper version of the control panel, and change it from there. But I don't think you really need to do that. And if neither two of these problems work, then your problem is probably not with latency. Lastly, disabling your firewall can help you. I don't want to show you that because it's different for all different computers, and you can have tons of different security alarms and systems for your computer. But yeah, disabling that sometimes helps. I hope that was useful, guys, and I hope you guys can fix your headset. I fixed mine after 3 weeks of not being able to play, and I played it again, and it was so much fun. Hope you guys are having a good night. Bye.